From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is Wake Up Weather.
The overnight update from the Storm Prediction Center maintains the standard level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather for the area this afternoon and tonight. That's all the yellow shaded regions here, and that's our entire viewing area. And they actually took that level 2 risk and expanded it on the rest of the way across North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee, even off to the east of our viewing area here. Still not a guarantee. There's still some question marks with this, and there are still some ways that this may not fully materialize to its full potential this afternoon and tonight, but we still need you on guard and prepared in case severe storms do threaten. This is a lower end type risk. We're not talking about a big tornado outbreak or anything like that. However, we know from years and years and years living here in the Tennessee Valley, all it takes is one storm with damaging winds or one storm with even a smaller type tornado to be a big problem. So that's why we ask you to pay attention to the weather this afternoon and tonight, and you be ready to act in case warnings are issued. A few of these storms will have the potential for tornadoes involved, in addition to the potential for a few storms to have 50 to 60 mile per hour straight line winds, and that's when you start getting into the range that could knock down some trees and power lines. Also, a few storms may have some quarter-size hail. I don't think we're going to see hail too much larger than that, but there may be a few storms with a hail threat as well, especially in the afternoon and the early evening if we see those cellular type storms, in addition to the localized street flooding threat possible with the evening and overnight line of thunderstorms. Here's the latest timing with Futurecast. And starting this morning, we're overcast here. We've had a few showers moving through the area this early morning, starting in the upper 50s, lower 60s. A few showers continuing through the morning into the midday. I also think we'll see a few breaks of sunshine here that allow temperatures to warm up into the upper 60s and a few spots into the lower 70s, and that destabilizes the atmosphere, and we will be unstable by the afternoon. We'll also have a strong southerly wind, even away from thunderstorms today, gusts as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour possible. But once we start getting toward 2 or 3 o'clock, we're going to be watching northeast Mississippi, northwest Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee for the potential for a few of these individual cellular type storms, and we'll see if they try to grow strong enough to become supercells and see if they try to rotate. If that does happen, there may be a tornado threat with those. A lot of it's going to depend on what the low-level winds do, if they're a little more southwesterly or if they're a little more southerly. If they're a little more southwesterly, there's not going to be as much lift in the atmosphere in the lower levels to get these storms to grow stronger out by themselves in the open warm sector. And there's also not going to be as much turning of the wind direction with height to get them rotating. However, if the surface winds at some little small scale area across the region are more southerly than southwesterly, there will be more spin in the lower level part of the atmosphere, and there will be more lift in the atmosphere, and that may be what causes these individual type storms to have a tornado threat. The window for that, I think, is from about 2 o'clock this afternoon until 7 or 8 o'clock this evening before the main band of thunderstorms starts working into the area. This will have the potential for the street flooding in addition to the gusty straight line winds, and there could be a spin-up tornado or two involved with the line. But I think once we get toward 9, 10, 11 o'clock, as the line works in here slowly and it starts to rain over itself and the atmosphere starts to cool and stabilize overnight, I do think the severe weather threat does start to diminish across the area. And I think 11 p.m. to midnight, the severe threat is over. However, there will be rain and a few rumbles of thunder lingering into the early morning hours of our Sunday. But the ending time for the showers, even Sunday morning, has started to speed up a little bit so that this ends a little earlier than what we were originally thinking over the past couple days. So regardless of what type of threat this is, even though this is a lower end type threat, you still need to pay attention. You still need to have a plan in place for later today, and you need to listen out for warnings. Make sure you have multiple reliable ways of hearing warnings this afternoon and tonight. The baseline should be a NOAA weather radio in your home that will wake you up out of your sleep because it sounds that loud alarm in your home, and that should wake you up. And this will continue into the evening and the early parts of the overnight. So for some of you that go to bed early, that's a concern. Also, those wireless emergency alerts that are built into your smartphones, the same things that tone out for the Amber Alerts. Make sure those are turned on in your phone. And also you can get push notifications on our free Tennessee Valley weather app. We'll talk about how you can get that here in just a moment if you don't already have it. Also, before storms threaten later today, you also need to know where your safe place is, where you will shelter if a warning is issued. You don't think about that when the storm is 10 minutes away bearing down on you. You think about that while the weather's still quiet ahead of time and you plan ahead. If you don't already have a plan and a safe place to go to, think about that this morning before storms threaten this afternoon and plan accordingly. The key to this is plan ahead of time. That's the main key to all of this, to be ready for any type of severe weather threat, not just today, but anytime we face one of these. And living in the Tennessee Valley, if you're new here, this is a regular thing we deal with. This is nothing unusual. And our tornado season runs from late October, November, all the way through the winter with occasional threats, on through spring, ending around late May and early June. And then even during the summertime, if we have a tropical system, there can occasionally be threats like this as well. So this is a way of life here in the Tennessee Valley. That means you have to be prepared. Being prepared also includes having a way to protect your head and neck with something sturdy from flying debris. We've learned over the years that the majority of people injured in tornado situations or killed are hurt because of flying debris hitting them in the head and neck. So something is cheap and as easy to deal with as a $5 bicycle helmet can save your life if your home is hit by a tornado. Not necessarily today, but any day that may possibly happen in the future. Something as simple as a $5 football helmet can save your life. A bicycle helmet. However, anything hard and sturdy to protect your head and neck from flying debris will help you mitigate the potential for injury if, unfortunately, you have to deal with a tornado striking your home. Also, you have to leave mobile homes. I've lived in a mobile home most of my life until the past few years. They're wonderful, affordable housing, but you have to pick out a sturdy shelter ahead of time that you will go to in the event that a tornado warning is issued, because mobile homes and vehicles are not safe to be in, either in even smaller tornadoes or straight line winds. They are dangerous things to be in. So the best way you can stay up to date with us today is the free Tennessee Valley weather app. If you don't already have that, that is a free download in the Apple App Store and Google Play. If you're watching me on smart TV or the computer, you can just scan that QR code there on the screen. Otherwise, go to your app store, make the download. It's completely free. It will always be free to you. Our app includes the Viper interactive radar, so you can track the storms with us down the street level, the hourly and 7-day forecast, and that will actually follow you around the country if you go on vacation or a business trip or whatever, not just at your home. And you can also set multiple manual locations for you to monitor. That also does push notifications for watches and warnings. And built into our app, we have a live streaming link to our 24/7 digital weather channel. The reason why that's important today is on that 24/7 digital weather channel that gives you the ability to watch our live streaming severe weather coverage from your safe place if you have to take shelter later today. Again, that's a completely free download. We'll be here to monitor the situation through the day. I'll be back at 7 o'clock this morning with a full forecast update, including the 7-day forecast. And then Brian Wilson's here live at noon with another update to the severe weather threat for later today.